Good morning, everyone. My name is Mighty Stream. I'm going to do your January the 17th spiritual principle a day in a meditation. I hope you're doing well today. Okay, let's go ahead and see what we have. The title of the meditation, Striving for Integrity. Always. Integrity is the consistent application of spiritual principles, no matter what the circumstances. That comes from It Works, Tradition 2, applying spiritual principles. We recognize the ultimate authority in NA groups to be a loving higher power that's expressed in our group conscience, according to Tradition 2. For better or worse, however, we entrust mere mortals and addicts, no less, to carry out our decisions. To do right by this tradition, it's important to choose trusted servants who demonstrate the full range of personal characteristics associated with a spiritual awakening, according to the fourth concept essay. We select such leaders and we evolve into those kind of people as we live clean and work the steps. As trusted servants, we do our best to practice integrity as we fulfill our commitments. Yes, that's a big order, but the steps prepare us well. Some might even say integrity is the proof in the pudding, the evidence of how working the 12 steps transforms us. By the time step 12 told me to practice these principles in all my affairs, one member said with pride, I was ready to do just that. I've come a long way, baby. We become people with character and backbone, the kinds of people who do the right thing, even when no one's watching. Of course, the real effort of character building starts long before we get through all 12 steps. It's perhaps most apparent when we're in the thick of steps 6 and 7, which give us a close look at some of our deeply ingrained bad habits. The price we paid for living this way was starkly detailed in our inventory. We know what we don't want. Now we take the opportunity to identify and practice healthier, more spiritual ways to deal with situations as they arise in all our affairs. And practice we do. Like so much in recovery, thinking and character follow the course set by our actions. We might think of right actions as the seed, which in time produces the fruit of good character. We do good works, practice virtuous behavior, and become people with integrity. Regardless of the circumstances, who's looking or what's convenient, I will adhere to my new code of conduct today. What a beautiful meditation. Let's take a moment of silence, followed by the we version of the Serenity Prayer. Moment of silence now, please. Thank you, God. Grant us the serenity to accept the things that we cannot change, the courage to change the things that we can, and the wisdom to know the difference just for today. Please and thank you. Wow, what a beautiful meditation. I really like this, striving for integrity always. And we are those sorts of individuals that we always wonder, would we ever become, right? We are able to practice these principles in all of our affairs. And we're doing it oftentimes long before we even reach step 12, as far as writing it out. We have the mental capacity today, the emotional capacity, right? Today, the spiritual capacity today, and even the physical capacity today to do just that, to practice being integral. You know, the fourth concept essay talks about choosing trusted servants who demonstrate the full range of personal characteristics associated with a spiritual awakening. Now, do I think that, every trusted servant has written out all the 12 steps? No, I don't. And do I think it's required? No, I don't. However, are the people we're choosing to be our trusted servants demonstrating that they have had a spiritual awakening? Or are they showing us by their actions that they haven't turned their life and their will over to a care of God, of their own understanding? Now, that's for agnostics and atheists and secular individuals as well. You have a higher power, we're assuming. Have we all done this? Or is it evident that the individual is operating on their own will, that their motives are not about building the group up? It's not about we, it's about me. These are things that are usually, I would say, observable by the naked eye. I can see, and so can you, right? And so when we're having this beautiful opportunity and privilege and honor of choosing trusted servants, let's make sure that they are demonstrating the full range of personal characteristics associated with the spiritual awakening. And let's make sure that we're becoming those sorts of individuals. Do we do it perfectly? I don't think so. My first 10 years easy, I was doing service work because it needed to be done. And the home group was being ravaged financially by takers, people that were using the seventh tradition for their own personal responsibilities, like groceries, gas, children's lunch money. And when the group would need coffee or need something, it seemed like the funds could never be made available for us to use. Why? Because they had been spent. And people, generally speaking, not everyone can just, materialize money out of thin air. And so we need to be mindful of that. We definitely need to be mindful that we want individuals that are demonstrating a full range of personal characteristics associated with having had a spiritual awakening. That's important, but we also want to be that person as well. And in striving for integrity, this spiritual principle, always, wow, that's a heavy statement. Always. Eventually, you know what happens? You don't even think about it. You don't even think about having to be integral. You have to think about not being integral, right? You get to a point where dishonesty is not the first thing that crosses your mind. Having a lack of integrity is not the first thing that crosses your mind. It takes some effort to feed that flame, but you get to a certain point where you are integral and it's second nature. And maybe you're not right now. That's okay. At least you can admit it. At least you have something to strive for. My name is MightyStream. I've enjoyed talking to you so much today. I hope that you will have a beautiful day on purpose.